Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we will be discussing some more statistics. Tests of significance is a direct question from a December 2018 DNB question paper, and I'll be discussing apart from that a few more topics related to it, which are again direct questions or probable questions in our future papers. Before we jump into the topic, I first would like to thank you all for helping our community reach 200 subscribers. Please forward this group to all of your colleagues and friends and juniors so that they can also benefit. So without any further ado, let's jump into the topic proper. So as any question starts, first we need to understand what it is. So start with the definition. So a test of significance, it's actually a formal procedure for comparing data. What are you comparing? You are comparing either a sample and the population from which the sample is taken, or you have two groups. So you need to compare data between two groups and see whether there is any difference, and if there is a difference, whether it is going to be significant or not. So this is just a statistical procedure to draw a conclusion. This is based on probability. You know there is a difference, but you are not sure whether the difference is significant or not. So before you jump to do a test of significance, you first have to draw a hypothesis. A hypothesis is a claim. Okay, you say that this particular group or this particular test is better than what already exists, or this particular sample of population has some significant history or disease compared to rest of the population. So that is a hypothesis. Okay, there are two types of hypothesis. One is a null hypothesis and the other one is an alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis simply means there is no difference between the two groups. Group A and Group B has no difference in whatsoever data you are trying to compare. Say, suppose you are having two groups. One group is having a drug, old drug, and Group B is having a new drug. What you are trying to prove is the newer drug is better than the older drug in terms of, say, efficacy, or in terms of having lesser adverse reactions, or say in terms of having a better dosing parameter. Whatever the character that you are trying to define. So you are trying to say the newer drug is better than the older drug. Null hypothesis states there is no difference. There is no significant difference, or whatever difference you are getting through statistical analysis is by chance due to an error in your data. Correct? That is null. So the claim about the population that evidence is being sought for is the alternate hypothesis. So you are trying to bring evidence for your alternate hypothesis, where you say that the newer drug is better than the older drug. Null hypothesis is represented as H0 or H0. Alternative hypothesis is represented as HA or H1. Alternate hypothesis states that there is a difference between two groups and the difference is significant, and the difference that you have gotten is not by chance. Okay. So there is a one-sided alternate hypothesis and two-sided alternate hypothesis. One-sided and two-sided is very simple. One-sided means you say that group A is having increased control over something, or increased, say you are comparing two insulins for example, you say the effect is better or greater than that of older drug. So that is one-sided. So you are saying it is better. If you say that there is a difference but it can be higher or lower, then it is two-sided. So the goal of whatever test of significance that you are going to apply is to prove null hypothesis false, and or in other words prove your alternative hypothesis to be true. So this hypothesis has to be chosen or defined before you pick up a sample. A hypothesis should be clear and precise. It should be simple and specific and something that is measurable. You can't say group of, suppose you are comparing group of older brothers and younger brothers, you can't say mothers love younger brothers more than older brothers. That is something that is not quantifiable. Correct? But in other words, if you are saying this insulin gives better mean control of blood sugar, so that is a measurable data. So it should be capable of being tested, and it should state the relationship between variables. whether it is going to be bigger, whether it is going to be smaller, or whether there is just going to be a difference. So we have already set up an example. Two insulins, and older one and newer one, you say newer one is better, and you are trying to compare the mean blood sugar. So with this example, we will try to go forward and discuss. So this curve that you are seeing is a normal distribution curve or a Gaussian distribution curve. Okay. So if suppose you are having a result, you will be plotting in such a kind of curve. So this curve represents the population. Okay. And from the sample, you are getting some sort of value which is the mean for the sample. Okay. That is in this yellow. This blue represents the mean of the population. So you have a result in the sample where this mean is falling in the green zone. So what is this green zone? So when you have a Gaussian distribution, you plot Z values. So Z value on your left will be minus 1.96 and on your right will be plus 1.96. So whenever a value falls in this white zone, this is a zone of acceptance. That means you are accepting null hypothesis, or in other words, there is no difference between your sample mean and the population mean. Say if it is falling under the green zones. Green zone is zone of rejection, meaning you are rejecting null hypothesis or accepting alternate hypothesis, stating that there is indeed a difference between your sample's mean and the population's mean. In this case, you have a population mean blood sugar or your older drug mean blood sugar at this blue line, whereas your newer drug mean blood sugar is falling in this yellow line, which is way away from your older drug mean blood sugar. So now you can obviously see that there is a difference. But is the difference significant or not? That is where your tests of significance come in. So your need for statistical test is this. It is going to help you to either accept null hypothesis or reject null hypothesis, and whether the difference is significant or not. That difference is represented by p-value. Before we jump into p-value, we need to know few other terms like alpha error and beta error. So what are the possible results? In this case, you have the population mean and sample mean. Sample mean is away from population mean. There is a huge gap and you are trying to prove something. So you know that null hypothesis is true, for example, and you are doing a test, and the test is stating that what you are seeing is true, meaning your test is also accepting that null hypothesis is true. So in this case, there is no problem. You also know it is true, the test is also stating it is true, so therefore it is true. Second scenario, your null hypothesis is true, meaning there is no difference between two sample means, but when you are doing a test, it is stating that there is a difference, or you are accepting alternate hypothesis in a place where null hypothesis is true, or you are saying that when there is no difference between these two types of insulins, old and new insulin, your test of significance is saying no, the new drug is looking better than older drug. So what happens? It is a false positive. This is called as alpha error or type 1 error. Next, the other scenario is where your alternate hypothesis is true, or where the new drug is actually better than the older drug. If your test is also going to prove that the new drug is better, then that is the correct decision. You are not going to worry about it. But say it is saying there is no difference between both insulins, old insulin and new insulin, both are remaining same in terms of whatever characteristic you are trying to define. In that case, what happens? It becomes a false negative and you are falsely accepting your null hypothesis. This is beta error or type 2 error. So when you are rejecting null hypothesis when it is actually true, you are doing a false positive, that is alpha error. The reverse false negative is beta error. Next two terms that you need to know are confidence level and power of the test. Confidence level is this. Confidence level is the assurance that an interval to contain the value of a parameter, meaning the degree of assurance for an interval to contain the value of a parameter. Meaning, say there is no difference and your test is also going to say no difference, that is confidence level. Power of a test is, the statistical power of a test is the probability that a study or a trial will be able to detect a specified difference. Meaning the alternative hypothesis is true, there is a difference between two drugs, and your test is also detecting there is a difference between two drugs. So that probability is called as power of the test. So the error possibility is beta. If you subtract 1 minus beta, that will be the power of your test. Alpha is your type 1 error, false positive error. If you subtract 1 minus alpha, that is confidence level. Okay, confidence interval is different. Confidence interval is how many ever times you repeat, you know that it is going to fall under the same brackets or same confidence levels. That is confidence intervals. P-value. P-value is the probability that the result is a false positive. Say suppose, before going into that, you are supposed to set what p-value you want or what alpha error you can accept safely, false positives. Suppose you are setting your alpha at 0.05 or your p-value at 0.05. It means that suppose you are getting a result, your new drug is different from that of your old drug, the chance of that the result is false is less than 5%. Or you can state that with 95% confidence that there is actually a significant difference between your new insulin and your old insulin. That is p-value. P-value gives you the probability that the result is a false positive. That is 5%. Say if it is going to be 0.001, it means a 1% chance. You are understanding the difference? 0.001 should be 0.1% if I am not mistaken. Sorry, I am very poor in maths. But you get the idea, right? So p-value is inversely proportional to significance. So the lesser the p-value, more significant the value is, or very less chance that the value is going to be a false positive. So after you get all this, you think of doing a test of significance. Test of significance is going to calculate this p-value. Okay. So you need to define the p-value at which you are going to consider it as significant. Few people, generally it is kept at 0.05. If you want better significance, you can keep it at 0.005 or 0.001% even. So the test of significance is based on what sort of study you are doing, whether it depends on a qualitative data or a quantitative data. So qualitative data, you can do two tests. One is standard error of difference between proportions and another one is chi-square test. Both of them can be applied to qualitative data. The difference is standard error of difference between proportions can be applied only to large samples. Large sample, anytime if they mention, it means it is more than 30, n more than 30. Chi-square test whereas can be applied to both large and small sample groups. Next, you have a quantitative data. So if you have a quantitative data, there are three types of tests that can be applied. Note that I am just touching upon the most important tests of significance. There are so many tests of significance that can be done. Okay. So quantitative data, there is a student's t-test, ANOVA test and Z test. Student t-test is again divided into unpaired and paired. So what do you mean by unpaired and paired? You have two groups. Okay. So same insulin example, if we take group A with old drug, group B with new drug, both are independent samples and you are applying student's t-test. Clear? Paired sample is the same population is giving two observations, meaning the same group of people, initially they used older insulin and after some time they are using newer insulin. And when they are using older insulin, you have a mean, and when they are having a newer insulin, you have a different mean. So if for the same sample you are getting two different observations, you use a paired t-test. So t-test, you can assess significance between two means, and for small populations also it can be easily applied. Next is ANOVA. ANOVA is analysis of variance. It can do analysis between groups and within groups. If you divide the difference in mean between groups and within a group, and that is called as F statistic. If that F statistic is large, it means you are accepting alternate hypothesis, meaning the difference between groups is greater than that of the difference within a group. Z test is very similar to student t-test, But z test is easier to apply because you have got predefined charts which you can use and you can plot it easily, and for large populations also it can be applied. You can also divide this test of significance into parametric and non-parametric. Parametric tests are applied to large populations who generally follow a Gaussian distribution. But if the population is not following a Gaussian distribution, or that distribution is sort of not required, or you are applying it for a small population, then you use non-parametric tests. Most of the tests that I have discussed are parametric tests. Non-parametric tests are Wilcoxon sign rank test, chi-square, Spearman's rank correlation tests. Here I have given few examples where a parametric test and a non-parametric test can be applied depending upon for what purpose you are applying. Suppose you are comparing two different groups, t-test is applied in parametric and Wilcoxon test is applied in non-parametric. If it is a paired observation, it is a paired t-test. If it is between different multiple groups, that is ANOVA, and Kruskal-Wallis if it is a non-parametric test. If you are trying to put a relationship between two variables, then if it is a parametric you are using a Pearson's correlation, and if it is a non-parametric test you are using a Spearman's correlation. And if you are trying to do something between two qualitative variables, then the test of choice will be chi-square test. Hope I have tried to make things simpler for you guys. If there are any doubts, please let me know. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon next to it so that you get instant notification whenever I post a video. If there are any more topics that you would like me to discuss, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for your support, and I love you guys.